I love that.
Disney should cancel Dave Filoni's Star Wars. Yeah.
Yeah.
Disney should cancel everything Dave Filoni does because he sucks. How many mother-in-laws does it take to change a light bulb?
How many?
They're not going to change it. They're just going to criticize your lighting choices.
Welcome to Two Gaming Dudes. I like that one a lot, by the way. That was really good. Our opinion on Ahsoka is certainly no secret. I mean, we hate it a lot.
Oh, I farted.
Despise it.
But
It's
we just
garbage.
kind of figured, I mean, this is just the direction Disney's going to go with it. And now Filoni's going to make this big movie, and it's going to be Avengers Assemble, and we're going to see his whole damn franchise come together in one big stupid movie.
So the cast of The Mandalorian, the cast of Ahsoka, Book of Boba Fett, all these separate lines are all going to come together to fight Thrawn, who is Thanos.
Right. And his army of undead.
And his army of zombie stormtroopers. Fuck! However, maybe not so fast, because financial analysts are calling for Disney to scrap that plan.
Really?
I don't know this writer.
I mean, what a great moment to scrap it.
Yeah, I agree they should. All estimates are it would be about a $400 million production.
Wow.
That's just for production. So it would need to clear about $1 billion to make its money back. $1 billion with a B to make its money back. The problem is, when they first announced Filoni was getting a movie, it was after Boba Fett Season 2 had come out. And nobody was watching. The ratings were like this.
Boba Fett had a season 2?
Or Mandalorian.
Oh, okay. I was like, holy crap, how much Star Wars have I not seen?
Mandalorian Season 2 and 3, they've steadily been declining. And now Ahsoka, this was written after episode 5 of Ahsoka.
All right, let's check this out.
Same trend. It starts off high, and then every week it just fewer people watch it.
And no one's watching
as people realize it's garbage.
As it is.
So this financial analyst is saying you really, really don't want to dump $400 million.
Financial analyst, who was that? Some dude,
guy.
Alien Renegade, called for the Walt Disney Company and Lucasfilm to scrap their recent announced Mandoverse movie to be directed by Dave Filoni, following the very poor-ass bullshit ratings of Ahsoka on Disney+.
So as he put it, it's not so much a question of Ahsoka being a good show, Ahsoka being a bad show, Ahsoka being whatever. He makes it very clear there are not enough people interested. There's not enough eyeballs watching to justify a $400 million expenditure.
And I mentioned this on our Twitter account. I said, whether you like it or don't like it, that's not what we're talking about here. You're allowed to like it.
Right.
That doesn't
You're
mean
stupid if you do.
But liking it, that doesn't necessarily equal it's good.
Right.
I like the Matthew Broderick Godzilla movie, but I recognize this is a stupid movie.
Jesus.
And, it failed at the box office. Rightly so.
Yeah.
It's not a good movie, but I still like it and I enjoy it. So if you like Ahsoka, you're allowed to, but you got to be able to separate I like it versus it's actually good.
And then the third choice is I don't give a shit. When it's viewers going like this, they clearly don't like it, but more than that, they don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah.
Why are you going to make this Avengers Assemble movie for people that don't give a shit about your product anymore?
Let's see what we got here. A press release covering the details expanding on Star Wars storytelling in the present day. Filoni will orchestrate escalating war, blah, blah, blah. So we already know what he's trying to do. He's going to bring them all together in one humongous cinematic event.
That's going to need to clear $1 billion.
I'm bringing in 823 million.
Yeah, so then it goes through.
So
it measures in how many watcher minutes every series gets.
Yeah, like are people actually watching this? Yeah. And turns out more people are watching South Park and
yeah,
and
a lot of
NCIS.
stuff on Netflix. Yeah.
You can make an NCIS movie and it probably do really well versus the Star Wars movie.
So that money could be better spent. Basically, Dave Filoni shouldn't be in charge of this anymore.
No.
If he wants to, you still want to keep him on staff, let him do some other cartoons. But this is not his forte. He's not good at this.
He's really not.
And this is like the fourth person who's finally going to save Star Wars. Star Wars is dead. Someone's going to... This is the series that's going to save it.
Look at the people they've chosen so far. J.J. Abrams is the man who's going to save it. J.J. Abrams. Oh, my God. Can we please try someone else? How about Rian Johnson? Everybody likes him. No.
I think...
No.
I may be in the minority. I am in the minority. I think Rian Johnson could have done an excellent series of Star Wars films had they left him alone to do his thing.
I could see that.
Like, given him from Force Awakens to Rise of Skywalker, let him have carte blanche with all three, keep the fucking studio executives out of it, let him make the artistic creative decisions. It could have been really, really good sequels.
It could have been. It could have been. That's possible.
But 3 different directors, 40 different writers, dozens of studio execs putting their hands in the pot.
You just
bullshit.
Yeah.
Especially when you're trying to cancel what the director before you did.
Okay, so they really put a lot of work into like
these numbers.
Look, I just really want to prove this to you. You people aren't paying attention. Look at the bullshit numbers.
From 800 viewer minutes to 459 viewer minutes. Yeah.
And then there's a video called Burn It With Fire. I love that.
Disney should cancel Dave Filoni's Star Wars. Yeah.
Yeah.
Disney should cancel everything Dave Filoni does because he sucks. Let him do a cartoon. He can't do live action.
Yeah, right here.
That's our card for the beginning.
Yeah, I love it. Right here. There is no business sense for the Walt Disney Company to allow a major Star Wars theatrical release based on this storyline. And I agree. Cost more $400 million. Yeah, so you're right on for that, which is insane.
The global audience that would have to come in to cover those costs would be enormous. You need to be close to $1 billion in global box office. That's insane.
Have you seen The Creator?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, so it's out in
like
theaters
opened and
right
closed
now.
like the same weekend.
It didn't stick around in theaters for really long, but it did fairly well. And considering that whole movie cost like $80 million to make,
right? Like what movies used to cost.
It didn't have to bring in $1 billion. It just had to do pretty good, which it did. Hooray!
With a story and characters that the vast majority of fans and Star Wars crowds out there in the globe are unfamiliar with, relatively or completely unfamiliar with, the show does nothing to help that case. The show does not seem to move the needle. Right.
That's exactly
I mean, it moved it backwards for me. But...
yeah, if you didn't watch the cartoon...
You don't give a shit.
You don't give a shit. You don't know who these people are. And he doesn't bother to explain it. So you're just jumping right into, season 5 of Rebels.
Star Wars seems to be serving smaller and smaller audiences, a more niche audience each and every show. There's a lot of rabid fans out there, but they're just shrinking in number, and the budgets these projects command are too enormous to continue long term.
Yeah.
Right. The fan base is shrinking because it's not Star Wars anymore. It's just another sci-fi property.
When you had Star Wars as Star Wars, the fan base was remarkably enormous because the stories were simple. It didn't matter who you were. You could follow along with what was going on.
Yeah.
Now, it's too...
Now there's night witches and a giant fucking buffalo that represents the Force and this trio of Force gods in other galaxies. It's nuts.
Did they just make a magic sword?
Did
that happen? Yeah, that.
What used to be
happened.
This swashbuckling high adventure series is now just whatever, comic book stuff. Cartoony bullshit.
It's not that bad. There were goddamn zombies in the last episode. Damn it.
They better keep it exclusively on Disney Plus because a theatrical release would be an absolute humiliation.
I have to agree.
It's garbage. I'm not going to see it.
No, and that's the problem is nobody's going to see it. I get how the super fans right now want so badly for there to be this Filoni movie. Because they watched all the cartoons and so on. But do you remember they came out with a Clone Wars animated movie?
Yeah.
That was awful. It is unwatchable awful. And it's going to be like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but live action.
And
expensive. I mean, can you imagine watching her performance, this fucking one-dimensional boiled potato, on a big screen for an hour and a half? Or 2.5 hours?
And you can't say the budget's going to save it because you've got the same director. The same director and the same writer. It's still Filoni.
They're going to
So-
use the same stupid
and the
green
same
screen
actors.
technique,
So
following the same stupid storylines.
so it's going to look just like a rather lengthy episode of the TV series.
Yeah. Which was garbage.
Which was garbage, and no one wants to see that.
So the movie's going to be garbage. Part of me says, yeah, go ahead and do it. I want you to lose $1 billion. Maybe you'll finally learn your fucking lesson. But these people, they just keep failing upwards.
There is a YouTube critic who he used to be a network executive. I enjoy his stuff on occasion, and he was talking about this, and he said you would think that they would learn their lesson. You would think every time Netflix comes out with something that kicks their ass, they'd be like, oh shit, we should do that. And then he says, but you don't understand the egos that are involved with these networks. They will never learn a lesson.
Yeah.
They will push forward even harder next time.
Well,
So
eventually shareholders are going to hold them accountable.
yeah.
You keep losing money like this. I mean, The Marvels is coming out next month. That's going to be a fucking hilarious disaster.
That's going to be awful.
So, yeah, go for it,
So
Disney.
yeah, I mean, why not? Go ahead, make the Filoni movie, spend $400 million on it. And
And then we'll laugh. And guys like us will say, I told you so.
yeah. Well, I mean, make sure you put in a lot of inclusivity. So that way, when we all don't see it, you can call us all racist and sexist.
Yeah. All right. That's all I got.
All right, that's all I got too. So, make sure you comment down below. I want to know what you think about this whole Filoniverse, Filoni movie thing. Is that something you care about? Are you like actually excited for this? I can't imagine, but maybe.
A lot of dipshits are. A lot of dipshits are.
That's
'Cause
true.
they have no idea what Star Wars was.
Yeah. So if you,
You can't
comment down
blame
below,
them.
I can't wait to see this. You're a dipshit.
I mean, you can't blame them. They didn't grow up with it. They didn't know. They never had it established in their heads this is what Star Wars was. So they can't comprehend. If your first exposure was Clone Wars, you're never going to get it. It's been tainted.
Yeah.
You never saw Vader as this primordial evil force. You know, oh, Anakin, he's heartbroken and sweet. And that completely changes the flavor and tenor of the entire fucking series.
Yeah. All right, you know what to do. Subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff.
Yeah.
We'll see you in another episode.
Yeah.
Later.